Yo, yo, yo. So, this is a story that I recommend listening to at night. And I don't mean like 5 p.m. or 7. I mean when it's pitch dark. You're in your room, all alone, in a bed. That sort of level. Just listening to this. With your screen brightness all the way down if you've got a screen on you. So, our story begins in a normal house. You're there. You're a man. You're in your late 20s, maybe early 30s. Or maybe possibly a bit older. You also have a wife, as well as a young child. And you're living with your dad. He's quite old these days. He's a grandfather after all. And he's going a little senile, you'd suspect. But really, he's just fine. But one day, you're in your basement. Because you've got a basement of your house. It's underneath, of course. You never go in there, it's just for storage. But one day you discover that in the concrete there's become a huge hole. So, you do what anyone does, and you aim to fill it. You go in there a little later. And by a little later, I mean like, I don't know, a few hours later. After work. Because you work during the day. For many hours. So you come back at night. And what you do is you get some concrete. You've already been mixing it. And you've noticed that something else has fallen in the hole too. Just, I don't know, some rubble that was lying around. Maybe something from, I don't know, underneath your house that, was just around that was trash. For example, a big piece of timber. So, you use that as a base, and you put the concrete in. You put the cement in. Until it fills the hole. And then you even the surface, and you let it dry. You go back to bed, and sleep peacefully. This is almost the end of the story now. At least for that character. Now what you didn't realise is that when you actually sealed the cement and the hole, your father was underneath. Trapped under the cement and under the rubble. Earlier, when you were at work, he had gone downstairs. He'd gone outside. He travelled under your house to go look at the problem. The problem is he's rather old. And he's getting on in years. So when he fell down this hole, it wasn't just a foot or two. It was a fair few. You can imagine whatever you like at the bottom. But anyway, when he fell in, some of the stuff around him came tumbling in too. Again, you can imagine that he crashed into it and then fell down the hole. Either way, once he was in that hole, the rubble was on top of him. Well, it was blocking the entrance, I should say. And he couldn't push it out. Not at his age. And there was too much of it. It was too heavy. And it was pitch black down there. He couldn't see a thing. He'd call out, but no one could hear him. Everyone else in the house was either away, or they had music pumping, or they just couldn't hear him from inside. So, after using all of his energy to try and push out things and scream and yell to see if someone could help, there was nothing. Nothing at all. It pushed him to the point where after several hours, he felt really sleepy and he dozed off. Now, during this time, was when his son, Yu, came home. It's when you put the cement over the rubble to fill the hole. Now, miraculously, it's been a few days, maybe a week or something close to that effect. And this old man, he's still alive. You ask yourself how. But really, he's been surviving the only way that he knows how. In complete darkness. Down there. Nothing to see. He can only use his senses and feel. He feels around. He feels the moistness of the dirt. He feels cold. But luckily, he was wearing a jacket where he felt as though he wasn't too bad. He feels alone, isolated. No idea that the cement's above. No idea that no one's coming to his rescue. But he hasn't given up hope. All this time he's been surviving. There's been a leaky faucet nearby, a tap, a drain, a pipe of some sort, or maybe just a leak. But there's been some sort of water substance leaking into this hole. He found it while trying to dig out. He can't dig upwards because there's cement blocking it. The entire floor there was cement. It was concrete. So he's tried digging sideways. And although it's tough on his hands, he did find a source of water. And he's been surviving by eating worms. The earthworms that have been growing around. He's felt them in his hands. Their soft, small bodies wiggling around. He knows the texture and the flavour well by now. That's what he's been eating. That's how he's been surviving. Holding on for sheer life to try and get out. How does this tale end? No one comes to his rescue. very long time. It's not until a few months later, when the family has been putting up not wanted, missing posters around the entire neighbourhood looking for this man, wondering where he's gone, wondering where dear old dad is. Turns out there began to be a crack in the floor. The concrete that you used it didn't seal very well. And although only slight, it was cracked. And eventually, at some point, it gets opened up again. And what's found inside is the corpse of a man. It seems he struggled. It seems he was surviving somehow in that cave, that hole that he created. And through sheer perseverance, he was digging out. But of course, he didn't make it. He kept digging until he found a nest. A nest of ants. These weren't normal ants. These were ones that could bite. And when they bit you, you'd need medical attention immediately. In the darkness, alone, this man dug into a nest of ants, who quickly got agitated, and without anywhere to go, this man was covered in ant bites all over his body. He was in severe pain up until the end. And that's how they found him. Thanks for listening. Have yourselves a good day.